Hi everyone, I'm Bill Siebald. I am an SEO. I am the founder and managing partner of Greenlane. Wanted to show you a cool thing that you can do in Chrome, the browser, to actually get some SEO recommendations. I'm also going to talk a little bit about the difference between source code and DOM and why you should know about each. All right, so hang on. Let's watch. All right, so let's dig in. Here is my website. This is the Greenlane website. You know, it's got some cool functionality, some little dynamic things. If you've been in SEO for a while, you know about looking at source code. Source code is the raw code that the developer would be, creating, then sending it to the web server. Okay, so then the web server hosts your file. When a user who's using a browser like Chrome searches or just navigates to your web page, that file is then sent over to the browser. All right. So we always look at source code. We know that Googlebot is looking at source code. We know that source code holds a lot of the things that we care about, like title tags, where those H1s are, where the alt attributes are. You can find that all in the source code. But this extra thing, this converted code, is also really important to start looking at because Google has gotten better at looking at a website and seeing more than just the source code. They're trying to render the website so they can see it like a user would see it. They've been doing this for, a few years. Are they perfect at it? They're getting better. They're getting a lot better. And they need to because a lot of dynamic technologies are forcing them to really get better. There's a lot of different JavaScript languages and things that make up a lot of the web pages out there. Google knew they had to learn how to process all of that so that they could get a better vision of the website that they're going to be serving to users. So if we wanted to look at the source code, looking at Chrome, you probably know you just right click and go view page source. And this is it. This is what you would hand code and send in if you were creating a web page completely from scratch. But nowadays we have, all sorts of CMSs and things like that that build most of this code for you out of the gate. So that's the source code, but what if we wanted to see the DOM, DOM? We wanted to see the rendered page. We wanted to see it the way Google was seeing it. Well, Google has a tool for that. Same thing, right click, but instead of saying view page source, we say inspect. And this tool pops up over here. There is a ton of stuff in the inspect module. Tons of stuff. And we'll probably revisit this again and again in future videos. But this right here, this is the rendered code. This is what we're actually seeing. This is after the source code has been rendered by the browser. You can click, if you wanted to isolate a certain area and see what the code looks like, you could click this button here, kind of mouse over to what you want to look at, and you'll notice in the top right, the code changes. So that's really helpful when you're trying to troubleshoot a problem. Developers use this all the time to make sure that their code is right. SEOs can use this as well to find any kind of SEO issues. Down here, you can take a look at the cascading CSS. So if you ever needed to sort of work through that, this is a good place to do it. But one of the coolest things that's built in here into this inspect module is an audit, actually several audits, using Lighthouse, Google's Lighthouse. So all I did was I clicked the double carrots here and I dropped down to Lighthouse. This used to say audits, so I'm not sure which version of Chrome you're using, but click that and it's going to give you this screen. And you see here that you have things like performance, progressive web apps, best practices, all sorts of different options for audits that Chrome will create for you. In this case, I just want to see the SEO and I want to see, let's say, how we perform in mobile. So go ahead, Lighthouse, tell me what mobile SEO audits you can give me. I don't think that made sense, but I think you understand what I'm saying. I might not speak very well all the time. But as we watch this thing work, some fun little stats there. As we watch this thing work, it's going to eventually give us actual recommendations. Here are things that we can fix on our website. And it is done. So Lighthouse has said our SEO, we scored a 99 out of 100. That's pretty terrific. Well, where did we fail? So right here, tap targets are not sized appropriately, right? The tap targets, the things you tap on your mobile your phone, maybe they should have been a little bit bigger. So you can click that and they'll actually tell me where the CSS or where the classes are that I can go and make it a little bit bigger and fix the SEO of my mobile experience here. So really, really helpful stuff. There's another tool that I very much like, and it's a extension. It's a Chrome extension, and it's right here. I have it installed already. So you just have to go to the Chrome extension store and look for View Rendered Source. That's the name of the extension. And what this does is instead of clicking Inspect, you can simply click this, and it's going to run a report of the raw, right? That's the page source. It's going to show you the rendered. So here's the DOM. And then it'll show you the differences between them. So if you're trying to audit between page source and DOM, this tool's fantastic. So it goes ahead and says, okay, here's where these green lines are where the code was actually added after being rendered. So this is the difference between this and this. Scroll down a little bit more, you'll probably see some other options. Not options, but examples. So here's where, code was changed again. Red line being the code is removed, green line being code is added. And this is very clean, but I've been able to go through here a lot of times and see surprises. Oh wow, this green link. I don't know what this green link is, and it turned out that my website, my CMS, was creating a link and creating a little bit of index bloat. And I had no idea it was doing it because I never really studied the DOM. I mean, those kind of situations happen all the time. So get the hang of this. Start to really understand it. It's not as scary as it looks. I mean, a wall of code like this definitely looks a little frightening if you're a new SEO, but it's not that hard to understand. It's important to go through this and make sure that you don't have any kind of issues, because honestly, if you have tech SEO issues, that really inhibits how well Google is going to be able to crawl, be able to find things. Most tech issues can be easily solved, or sometimes you have really bad tech issues that sort of negates all the power of anything else, right? You got the best content on a site, you could have great links coming to your site, but if your tech is broken and Google can't get through your site, then a lot of that doesn't really matter. So the tech SEO is really an important thing for you to work on as an SEO to make sure that your website is always crawlable, readable, and findable. So I hope that was helpful. Good luck. Enjoy. Dig into the DOM and see what you can find.